Not many people noticed this about Jimmy Butler here. First play of the game, Jimmy was in the corner, but he calls for the ball, takes on 3 Pacers to score. He didn't score another field goal till the 3rd quarter of the game. Pretty much stood around like this and watched his teammates play. The message? I could do this whenever I want, but you're not going to see it the rest of the game. Just letting us all know who he can be, and if it wasn't clear enough, dude set the press conference on fire.
I want to see me get my joy back from playing basketball. And wherever that may be, we'll find out here pretty soon. But I want to get my joy back. I'm happy here, off the court.
Can you get your joy back here on the court?
Probably not.
And after that, Shams reported Jimmy officially made a trade request. Oh, to Phoenix or the Warriors? No, anywhere but here is what Shams said. That is how bad Jimmy wants a trade. Oh, this was fun and games before, but now Jimmy is going next level. His first 17 games this year around his normal averages, but the last 5, dude, he's throwing a fit on the court. This is James Harden level toxic, which I didn't think we would ever see from Jimmy Butler on the court. I mean, he prides himself on playing hard, but we finally found out what's made him so angry. Let's take a look at that and what is Jimmy's trade value now that he's acting out. But I've been having success on Underdog. I define success on Underdog as just putting some plays in and having fun. As long as I had fun that night watching games, that's a success. I just pick higher or lower for whatever games I'm gonna watch that night, my favorite players, and I root for that to happen. You can actually win 1,000x your money with their new game streaks if you hit 11 in a row. So let me give you my 2 picks. Higher on Keyshawn George points, lower Brandon Miller assists, and best of luck if you were tailing those picks. Check out this map. Underdog's available in states like Texas or California, Florida with champions, and please use my promo code AMHOOPS. It really helps out the channel. Plus, you get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special free pick. Jimmy was up for a contract extension, so last offseason, the media asked Pat Riley. He said Jimmy's not worth a max contract at 35 years old. Yes, he took them to 2 finals, but the Heat don't reward anyone for what they've done. This isn't the LA Lakers. Riley said no to Alonzo Mourning back in the day, Dwayne Wade, so he sure is not going to cave to Jimmy Butler. But maybe once the season got started, they could negotiate? No, Miami has been clear. There is no max contract coming for you, ever. So Jimmy leaked that he wants a trade, but he was sneaky about it. See, Jimmy doesn't want to be labeled toxic or hard to work with. That used to follow him around for years. So when Shams reports it, Jimmy must have told his agent, yo, go back hard on Shams on social media. Then he dyes his hair different colors. Oh, he could deny it. He's trying to slow play this. But Pat Riley's statement changed everything. We usually don't comment on rumors, but all this speculation has become a distraction to the team and it's not fair to the players and coaches. Therefore, we will make it clear. We are not trading Jimmy Butler. And does Pat Riley really think that statement's gonna kill the rumors? No, it was a message to Jimmy. If you really want out, you're gonna have to get toxic. Okay, you can't have it both ways. You can't demand out of here and protect your little reputation. At the same time, it was a message to other teams. See, the Heat have been taking calls about Jimmy, but they haven't liked what the offers are. They have got to up their packages. So now Jimmy is back to being his toxic self because the easy way wasn't working. But he's also lying to us. Shams reports a member of the coaching staff confronted Jimmy that he wasn't playing hard in the win over New Orleans. Shams said that was the last straw that pushed Jimmy over the edge. But that's not true. I mean, if Jimmy cared about competing on the court, why not just take a pay cut to remain in Miami? Oh, it's because his #1 priority actually is to get paid above everything else. Dude wanted to trade before they said he didn't play hard. How is that the last straw? And do you remember that report last summer that said Jimmy was interested in the Brooklyn Nets? The report even said, Butler isn't just open to Brooklyn, he's fond of it. Does that sound like a guy who cares about competing? No, the Nets? They just so happen to be the only team with max cap space this next summer. He's not fond of the Nets, he's fond of their money. So Jimmy's #1 priority at this point of his career is not to compete for a championship. It is to get paid. Now, he'll take both at the same time, right? If he can get to the Warriors or the Suns, whatever. But I'm not mad at him. Just get your money, right? But he wants us all to think now he's so upset about being accused of not playing hard. No, he's upset that the Heat won't give him a bag. That's it. So where is Jimmy gonna go next? I know Pat Riley said that they're not gonna trade him, but that's over now, okay? This has become way too toxic. He is gone. But to where? Well, this is where the Heat actually kind of messed up. If they knew that a max contract wasn't coming, they should have traded him last summer. His value was way higher than it is now, and they could have gotten a really good package to retool. Instead, they kept him, and this was always how it's gonna end. I mean, just look at Jimmy's history. Now they're negotiating from a position of weakness because the other teams know how uncomfortable this is for them, and they have got to trade him, so they're not gonna offer their biggest deal. I've seen some people say, oh, Jimmy Butler for some second-round picks. No, he is worth more than that, but how much more? Well, Jimmy's trade list actually does matter here. He can be a free agent this summer and would be willing to re-sign in all those places. It makes no sense for a different team to trade for him if he's just gonna leave in a few months. So to recap, Jimmy's preferred teams, according to Shams, are the Suns, Warriors, Rockets, and Mavericks. But he also said anywhere but Miami. Wouldn't it be hilarious if Pat Riley was like, oh, you want out, huh? Okay, you're a Wizard. We'll take Kyle Kuzma and a second-round pick. But Riley, ultimately, it would be funny, but he's going to do whatever is best for the Miami Heat. But do those preferred teams actually want Jimmy Butler? I mean, I don't think the Rockets do because he's so much older than their core. Are the Warriors excited at this point, now that Jimmy's reminded all of us of how dysfunctional he can be? We know the Suns do want him bad, but the only way is to trade Bradley Beal, and Shams also said, sources told ESPN that the Heat have no desire to take back Bradley Beal, and that Phoenix would have to find a third team to get involved to make a deal work. No desire for Bradley Beal, but he has a no trade clause. So whatever that third team is, it would have to be somewhere that Bradley Beal really wants to go. Okay, it's not gonna happen. So what about the Memphis Grizzlies? Jimmy actually plays the one position they really need, which is on the wing. They've made playoff runs, but they could use a tested veteran like Jimmy Butler. He also would become their number 2 offensive player behind Ja, which then slides Jaren Jackson Jr. to number 3, which is probably where his skill set fits best on offense. He also fits with their gritty personality. I think the Grizz deal is perfect if Jimmy says, yes, I will re-sign there. Or maybe the Denver Nuggets? They've got a first-round pick to trade, plus Michael Porter Jr., but why would Denver get Jimmy knowing if he's unhappy for a second, he will make it so uncomfortable? I know people will say De'Aaron Fox for Jimmy Butler, but Fox is not a number 1 to compete for championships. What the Heat should do is get back expiring contracts and maybe a pick, because that opens up flexibility. The $14 million mid-level, the $5.1 million biannual exception this summer to sign free agents, plus if the expirings come off the books, they can open up max cap space in 2026. We all know Miami is a free agent destination, and 2026 free agents are De'Aaron Fox, okay, not great, Trae Young, and Luka Doncic. But whatever happens, I think it is guaranteed now Jimmy Butler gets traded this season. And it could be a huge trade for whoever gets him, because when Jimmy is happy, he is also one of the best big game players in the NBA. But speaking of De'Aaron Fox, things are also dysfunctional in Sacramento. I know that's a shock. But they fired Coach Mike Brown, and there have been allegations that De'Aaron Fox might have been behind it. We're gonna have a very interesting trade season this year.